Hello, this is Jennifer, also known as Jedi Dragoon. I'm going to be potting this up today. This is just a small pot I have. It's like 10 to 12 inches, or at least in the bottom. And yeah, it's just a pot I got somewhere. I think I got this one from Lowe's. It has like this little black thing in the bottom for a water reservoir. And my husband drilled a hole all the way up here, so because you do that so you have a bit more water reservoir for your plants, so you don't have to water as often. But trust me, in the summer when it gets really hot, you gotta water every day. I'm going to be showing you how to grow kale in this tiny little pot, because one of my friends thought she couldn't grow kale this year because she's like, well, I didn't think it did well in a pot. It does fine in a pot. The plant's not going to get as huge as if you grew it out in the garden, but you can grow it in this size container very easily. So, the plants I am using are these. These I winter sowed back in March. They're just like a kale premier mix. As you can tell, they need to be transplanted. And this is, I have a bunch of tree twigs and stuff. I have maple trees, so yeah, as you can tell, I have a whole bunch of these. I may take them and just break them up and put them in a planter so I can have baby kale. But anyway, all I'm going to do to get one of these is use my pot first. And I'm trying to keep it a little clean. I have a daughter with an eye doctor appointment later today. So, you know, it's a small town. Anyway, so all I'm going to do is gently take this and just pull. Okay, these two leaves came off. These are the baby leaves. It's fine. They're going to fall off anyway. But anyway, I'm gently, this came out. There we go. See? You have plenty. And what I'm going to do with this, okay, that was not good. Okay, set that down there. Okay, and what I'm going to do with this is, first off, take my dirt and put it in here. This little plant's just going to hang out over here on the side. It'll be nice and fine. Take your trusty mason jar or hands or shovel to get your dirt out. Start filling the pot up with dirt. This makes for exciting television, doesn't it? A person filling a pot with dirt that you can't see. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, she was thinking she couldn't grow kale in a pot or anything this year. I told her she should be fine to do it. And so, that's why I'm doing this, to pretty much, hi Melody, show her that you can do this pretty easily. Like, this is Job's organic potting mix, and you probably wouldn't even really need to add fertilizer. I'm going to add fertilizer, but yeah, you don't really need to. I have done it both ways. So what I'm going to do is I have it filled about this full, which as you can see, the stem's going to be buried. With kale and cabbage plants, you can bury the stems pretty easily and they'll root. I have done this with my cabbages out in the garden, and similar kale plants to this. Okay, that's a little too low. And they will re-root and be nice and happy. Like this will go in shock for about a week and then it'll start growing. Nice, big, healthy, and happy. But yeah. So all I'm doing here is I'm filling it up, so yeah, that works. Is I'm filling it up, or I'm trying to, because I don't do pots as much as I used to. I lived in another My first house I lived in once I was first married, which our goal as a couple was to have a garden. The house we chose had a front yard that was about 10 feet wide and ran the length of our house. It was a modular home, like one of those manufactured homes. And so pretty much we decided we didn't want front yard. We built like 5 raised garden beds because that was our sunniest spot, was our front yard. Our backyard was about 5 or 6 feet wide. And the back part out the back of the house was a little bit bigger, but not by much. So I started learning how to do containers and patio gardening and how to do stuff in small spaces there. And so I don't do it as much anymore because I have a giant back garden that, if you go back and watch my homestead videos where I do a garden tour, you'll see how big it is, which I plan to do those this year. I just haven't got around to it. But yeah, so at the other house I had to do like small container plants and stuff, so I got pretty good at it. But anyway, so as you can see, I buried him up to here. He's nice and happy. He'll grow great. If you want to, you can take and give him a little water, settle him in, and I'll be watering with the hose outside. And like I said, this has fertilizer, or you can get potting mixes with fertilizer that'll feed your plants up to 3 or 4 months. That's ideal because I have flower, but that's more for flowers, I found out, because I grow flowers in this potting mix and I never fertilize them. But with vegetable plants, you kind of want to give them extra food because they have to grow a lot and big and beefy. Saying that, I do have one tomato container out here that I don't fertilize, and the tomato does great usually, but I have to give it like a feeding midsummer. But anyway, I'm taking a tablespoon of this. It's garden fertilizer, and I'm just sprinkling that there on the top. It's just a tablespoon, and I'm just going to work it in with my fingers. It's really stinky stuff, so I'm going to have to wash my hands after this. Well, I gotta wash my hands anyway, as you can tell. This is not as dirty as my hands have gotten. But yeah, so this little Russian kale plant, because this is Russian kale, I've grown it. It's a kale mix that I have, but I've grown kale often enough that I know what this one is. It's a Russian kale. So as you can see, that is how you plant a kale plant. Is 10-inch pot, and I'll try to keep you updated on this little guy. And thanks for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.